What's up, YouTube? We are working on the ZX-10R and we are getting the, there they are. We are getting the engine bolted in fully right now. It's in there temporarily, all the bolts are in, all the, what are they called? All the spacers are at the correct spacing. Double check that. We have to double check that once we tighten everything up too, just to make sure nothing's shifted. But I think we're good right now. I'm going to start going through this book here and starting with the left front engine mounting bolt, which is C right there. Okay, we're going to torque that one down. 32 foot-pounds of torque. So let's get the torque wrench out. And 20, 32. And then we just got to figure out what size that's supposed to be. I'm going to guess 14. And I would be correct for once in my life. There we go. So we're on our way around the engine bolts of this bike, and we're going to get everything tightened in there nicely. Oh, I never even really put this one in. And it looks like it's off center. So we might have to pull the engine up and straighten something out for half a second. Let's see. Yeah, that bolt, we might have to loosen something else up and make a minor adjustment before we can do this. Or put the lift back under it and straighten this out. It may have shifted a bit while sitting here, which is why I wanted to make sure this was in here tight enough, and I guess I did not. I don't want to torque to it. Yeah, it's moving just a bit. Okay. That's loose, that's loose. Let's try to just... Oh, I locked it in on that side, so that's not going to work. Oopsie. This guy, I locked... where is it? This guy, I locked this in place. That's creating a lot of pressure on it, so let's back that spacer out a bit. No wonder they tell you to do this bolt first. Okay. We're going to do two things here. First, I'm going to grab the KTM brake holder. Just keep this thing from moving as much on me. It'll hold the front brake in. Grab our bolt here. Does she move at all? Doubt it will, because we got locked everything else in place. Yep, okay. So, we're going to take this lift that we just dropped the engine of the 250 off with. We'll put it back under here. You're going to forget what size socket we need. What size it's going to go? That way. I think it's a 22. It's going to be a 23 just to make me mad, isn't it? 22. I'm going to grab... I rearranged my garage, so I moved things on myself to make this arrangement work. Grab our impact. We're going to raise up this engine just a touch. And I have a good view on this side. Let's see if we can do this with just the lift. we cannot. It does not look like it's straightening out enough right now, even with this loosened all the way up, because I've tightened these too much. So what we have to do is just, we have to loosen up the engine bolts just a touch, center it back in place, and retighten everything back down. Not a big deal. It was in there enough to hold it in place while we were doing stuff. I think we can just do this one. Oh, there it goes. Yep, that was it. So let's make sure we can get this one all the way in there. Let's see how much further it doesn't have to. There it goes. Nice and easy. Now before we go any further, I want to get the other side in as well, just a touch, just to make sure we stay level to this guy. Okay, collar is set on this side. Okay, it's driven in just enough to hold it in place. Try this side in. Okay, she's driven in. Yay. Now we're gonna leave it on the stand for half a second there until this is torqued down. Then we'll drop the stand, and then everything should be in nice position enough that it will it'll all stay in place. That was the alignment we needed. Here we go. 32, which seems so light. Okay. Tighten the bolts till clearance G between this collar and that collar. Yep, did that. When installing B, install this and this. Installed all the way in. Uh-huh. .32. We're going to double check that torque. And of course, they don't have a great spot for that. So we have to look at 3. 3 is 32, okay. S. Follow specific tightening sequence. Will do. Okay, so out of sequence there with that one. We're supposed to have it installed, but I guess I have to remove it anyway, so that's fine. Middle engine mounting bolt, which I'm going to call that guy because it's middle, that's lower. We're going to take the middle. It's got to be torqued down to, I'm sorry, what? 87 inch-pounds? Huh? And then the nut has to be torqued down to 232. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that makes sense now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a new tool. Here we're going to find our, I believe it was 6. It was 6, 8 mil. We're going to take this guy and we're going to set it to 87 inch-pounds, which 87. Okay. And then the lower bolt has to be tightened. Let's do something silly here. Okay, the bolts are torqued down to 87 inch-pounds. And then tighten the middle engine nut and then the lower engine mount nut. So the middle, which is up here, which was up there, but I put back on there, which is not there, which is, right there on the ground. All right, where the torque wrench still set to 32. You gotta come over here and see if this is long enough for this. And we didn't put the nut on there. First we gotta get the nut, because we're a nut. You gotta put it on here like this. Get your finger tight in there. There we go, 32 inch or foot-pounds. Now we gotta do the bottom one. Again at 32. But for that one, I know I need an extension. Thank you for Kawasaki for putting this nice hole in the frame right where it needs to be so that I can torque this down properly. .32 inch-pounds on both sides. Got some dust on the frame. Oh well, we'll get that cleaned up. Okay, next thing we have to install 2 plugs. I see one already. This plug. And there should be another frame plug. This guy, maybe? I don't think so. I don't think it's this guy. It might be. Let's go see if this fits. One goes down here. That's definitely not it. And one goes up here. So put the bottom one in. I want to. Maybe we were missing one. I forget. We're going to look through the rest. But that's going to be exposed for the rest of its life. So we can always just order one and put a new one in. Because I'm not seeing a spare one here. So if we find it, we find it. If not, we can always order one and plug it. If not, it's not detrimental to the motorcycle's ability to be a motorcycle. All right, so those 2 are done. Oh, I missed it. 6th, after tightening engine, install the plug on both sides. Tried on both sides. Wait, hold up. J, 1, 2. Oh, there's only 2 plugs up top, so we're missing a plug. It's up top on both, so I lied. As always, I lied. There's one on each side of the bike, one here. Come on. On this side, one on the. I said go in. Too good for your home. One on this side and one on the other. We'll have to find if there's a spare floating around. If not, we can always order one. Easy. Now, we must remove D temporarily using hex this, turn collar key until clearance is 0. Did that already technically, but we'll do it again. Then we're going to lock that in place at 36 foot-pounds, and we're going to lock that in. That's weird. Okay. We're going to use this guy in a minute. But first, we are going to remove a bolt. know if we have the right size for that, or if I may have just bought the right size finally. Too big. 12 millimeter. Perfecto. Now we have to take this custom or this specialty nut that came with the ZX-10R, and we're going to throw it in the ultrasonic for a second. I mean 4 minutes. We're going to plug in the ultrasonic. We're just going to give it a good cleaning. There's a lot of grease left on it. Now what we really need is to rewire this whole garage and set this up. Okay, let that clean off a little bit, wipe it off. We'll get back to this. Much better, much better. Makes removing grease a lot easier when it goes through the ultrasonic cleaner first. Doesn't come out perfect, but I mean, that was a lot better than it was going in. It's like a brand new bike. Alrighty, we're back with this. We've got the collar going on with our specialty Kawasaki tool that gets these off. Okay, so now we need to torque that down using this, the 36 inch-pounds. I'm going to need this 17 here. And we're going to have to do 36, right? As I said, yep. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get this guy in there in its lock. Done. Super easy. Super expensive for that thing compared to the amount I used it. Now we've got to drop this back to 32. Easy. Grab our 14 mil again right here. And we need to take the front end bolt, which I put over here on this lift. Tighten this down to 32. There we go. That is all the bolts for the engine installed. There are secondary bolts that hold some stuff on. Like there's a side bracket here, and I think that really, looking at this, just holds on the fairings and stuff outside of the engine, keep separating them. So we'll check into what's next for that, but we're going to look at cable routing. So we've got this whole wire loom, which I'm going to assume tucks up here and sits in a loop of some sort, but I don't know. And this is got to be, these are injectors, this is ECU stuff, I don't remember, cooling fan maybe, horn, something else. So we've got a lot of things to connect here, and I want to get the routing diagram down, which I believe is in the back of the book. I've written it down somewhere, but where that is, I couldn't tell you. And part of this process, before I was supposed to do that, it was attach this heat insulation rubber plate onto the engine as shown in figure. That is right here. I took it outside and I gave it a quick washing so that it wasn't as terrible as before. But it goes on like so. onto the engine like so, and I'm wondering if I have to do the coils first or if I can do those afterwards. About to find out, but I think they're after. Mistakes may have been made here, so we might have to come back to this. So the mistake that I might have made here, which I'll have to see what I can do to not take the whole engine back out, is this may have had to run up through here, which is why I wanted to look at the routing. But as the engine's already mounted, and it looks like there's 4 plugs up front, it looks like it'd be easier to unmount and wire it, snake it through myself, or snake it through first. The other thing is I have some hoses up here that might go under, like this might go under those hoses. I'm not quite sure. I have to look at exactly how this thing goes in here. Come back with a plan of attack on that. Because this is supposed to clip around something, which I think is the wiring harness. Okay, let's go figure this thing out. This might be the slowest process of putting this bike back together, not gonna lie. All of these wires, every little piece of electrical in this, and this bike has a lot of electronics on it, has to go in a certain way. Sorry, I just got the throttle all connected and run the right way. It's not adjusted properly yet, but it already feels good. There's a little slop in it. We'll take care of that with the adjusters. And yeah. Oh yeah, those will be easily adjustable. But yeah, every wire in here has to go to a certain spot, go up, under, over, through something, attach to something, around something. This is actually supposed to be over here, and everything's got to go in the right spot. And I'm going ever so slow with it because I do not want to mess this up. Plus, I just found out they got this guy here, which I'm gonna guess is this guy here, which is gonna go like this. Voila, perfect. That's going to go just like that because there's only really one way it can go. And I'm going to drop in the... we don't have spark plugs, do we? Shoot. Oh, and I got to see if I got new gaskets for the intake. The throttle body. Anywho, yeah, I've got the throttle body assembly on. Throttle's working. Clicking nice over there. Clutch, I think we have the wrong cable. I think we had the wrong cable when he bought the bike, which I don't think could have led to the problem we're having, but this clutch cable does not sit in here the way I want it to. I gotta make sure I got it routed the right way, but it's like at the end of its life, I think. It might just be that this cable's been on here for forever. I mean, it pulls. Just not a lot. Could just be me, but we'll work on that. So I'm going to drop the coils in just so those are cleared up. We've got those in the garage. It's a mess again. I know. Got the coils over here. We'll give them a quick cleaning too. Give them a little wipe down. Get a touch of soapy water on these if I can find some. All my stuff. There's a bottle of soapy water on here somewhere. But we'll clean these up just a bit before because they're very dusty and dirty. Soapy water's laying down over here. Nice. So yeah, we'll wipe those off. We'll we've got to tighten down the throttle body assembly, which this hole here, actually put your wrench through there and you can get to the clamp, which is underneath these. I already put those on and put those into place, and then you got the throttle body assembly attached. I've got, I guess I can attach this. That goes there. Fuel. I think all of this goes up above. Where would these go? Oh no, these go on the bottom here, don't they? Wait, hold on. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Let's make sure we got this set up. Nope. Injector is down there. I gotta make sure that these don't go to injectors or something. I see where these go still. Maybe you have to pull this back up and clip from the bottom. They might go right there. I don't know. We might have to pop this back off for a second. It's not screwed. It's not secured in yet, so maybe we'll be okay. But I gotta figure out, because I want to say these are injectors, and then this might control the injector. I don't know. I also have all the other parts in boxes there, here, and I've got like the air boxes over here, and all of its sensors. Somewhere in this mess is an airbox. Airbox is over here. This goes on top. I want to say this goes directly on top. This looks like it. I'm starting to get out of sequence here, but just trying to make sure I got everything where it needs to be. This probably goes right here. Oh, it definitely does. Oh, and I remember this being a pain to get in and out of here. I don't know where that goes yet. It's just a breather tube. Must be, it's capped. That's going to go right on top. The velocity stacks are over there. They're going to go right on there too. Okay. So I need to figure out where all these other electronic pieces go. And it's a very slow process for me because I'm trying to do it right. And I'm double, triple. Oh, I found it. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I found more. There's our injectors. Are those really the injectors? Okay, so this is going to... There must be secondary injectors. This is going to be the top of the airbox. And these are going to clip in like this. Yep, those are going to clip in like that. So, okay, these are secondary injectors that go higher up. So I'm worried about stuff not so bad right now. And there's probably an air, either temperature or airflow, like an O2 sensor. It doesn't look like O2, it looks more like a temperature sensor. A temperature sensor for intake air. Okay, so that's gonna be that whole run. See? Start pulling this stuff. You figure it out. But yeah, it's been a process. I've got a couple more days probably doing this, but we're getting so close. I'm getting so excited, but I don't want to rush. Try not to rush. So let me clean those, drop those in, and we'll keep rearranging wiring in here. Yeah, 5 things. There you go. That's all the top of it. I still have more connectors for something else down here. I have to make sure I get plugged into wherever they need to be plugged into. Yeah, we're moving. All right. I've wiped these off a bit. They're not the cleanest. They got still got some corrosion and grunge on them, but they're much better than they were. Let me show you how to install cylinder 1 and 4 on this bike. Now, according to the Kawasaki manual, to change these coils, or your spark plugs for that matter, you take all of this off. You get down basically to this point. You gotta take your box off, you gotta take your velocity stacks off, you gotta get down to this. Then, you would think, oh, I just drop them in there. There's no room, Zan. What am I gonna do? I can't do it that way. Oh, you just wait. We're gonna turn this handbar to get it out of the way first. You come down here, and you have to take off your side fairing, your engine, your side bracket for your engine, everything basically, and you have to wiggle this thing in here ever so tightly. And you have to get it in here at an angle that doesn't exist. And then just through wiggling and twisting, finally, it goes in. But man, this is not easy. Kawasaki. Really? Really, man? I hope they fix this in other generations. There we go. We're in. And we're on the plug. I actually do have the old plugs in there. That's just for now. We're probably going to pull those right out and put fresh ones in. Because why wouldn't we? But now I've got all these beautiful connectors that go to what? Your ram air, your air intake comes in this way. I know there was a connector over here that's disconnected right here. Gotta find where what goes to this still. And it could be, nope. Could be, nope, it's a male. Or it's a female, so I need a male connector to go into it. I got nothing over here yet. So we've got a bunch more to do. But but we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. I had to contact the owner, tell him we need plugs because he lives a lot closer to headboards than I do. But so glad it's working. But we're getting somewhere at least. Hey, look, it doesn't work. Okay, forgot I had the key out here. It's been in the bike since we ripped it apart. But yeah, no, a lot more to go. I'm being very meticulous. I didn't do anything behind the seat, thank God. There's less I have to worry about. But man, this is a process. I'm thinking about getting a service cart to put that on, something that rolls around that I can just roll it over here, have the tab, or either that or my tablet on it, because I know the battery life on that's not great because it's old. And then have it closer. I don't have to keep walking here to there to there to there. But yeah, let's keep going. Oh, jeez, did I break everything?